Hey, happy Friday. Happy Friday. Hope all is well with everyone on this beautiful Friday. If we can remember, Friday is Love Day. That's what I call Friday, is Love Day. This is the day that is perfect timing for you to congregate with your loved ones. It's no mistake why Friday is like the day people like to get with friends, hang out, happy hour on Fridays. So I hope you are having a beautiful, loving Friday, because Friday is the day to show your love. So even if you have not had the opportunity, peace, Hakeem, even if you haven't had the opportunity to do anything in reflection of love today, make sure you do it at this moment. So I wanted to come and talk a little bit about Mercury Retrograde. Plenty people are like, what's going on with Mercury Retrograde? How do we optimize this energy, Queen? What's up? I have plenty of people asking, what's up with Mercury Retrograde? Is it something real? Everybody's talking about it. We keep seeing posts about Mercury Retrograde. Is this something that I even should be considering, or should I leave mystical people? And so I wanted to give a little light on it. So I want to wait just a second. You all like and share. Thank you for those who are liking already and share. This video is going to be beneficial to even people who are not really into like spirituality like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like everyone is spiritual, even if you don't think you are. You know, I think everyone is spiritual. But the benefit of this video is to really assist with understanding the importance, or the benefit, I should say, of understanding the Mercury retrograde, and then considering it as you make your decisions and movements in life. So understanding it really helps to optimize it. And that's what we really want to be able to do. I'm always pushing live intentionally. You know, we want to live as intentional as possible. That way we can kind of, we can steer clear of chaos more readily than if we're not living intentionally. Because sometimes life is just kind of hitting us upside the head and we don't know what's going on. But many times it's because you're not in tune, you're not aligned with the energy of the cosmos. And so you're doing things that don't necessarily, this is not the best time to do it. This is not the best way to think about it, just because of the time. And for example, during Mercury retrograde, we're prone to have a lot of miscommunication and arguments. And I can bet you that there has been plenty end of relationships and partnerships during Mercury retrograde because of some kind of miscommunication that end up getting blown out of proportion. And if you knew it, at least if you knew it was Mercury retrograde, you could kind of chill out for a little while, give it a little time, and then address it after Mercury retrograde is done. That's just one example. You know, there's plenty other examples. You know, people have wasted money. Things have gone wrong with their car, their computer, their phone. They went to go buy another one instead of just waiting. It never fails. Every single time Mercury retrograde come around, my mother calls me and say something is wrong with her phone. Never fails. She always calls and say, hey, something is going on with my phone, and I automatically know what it is. So, you know, I just tell her, well, Mom, you know, I can't deal with it right now. Just wait. And I just keep putting it off, Now, she doesn't know this. If she sees this live video, she'll know now why. But every single time, and she's going to laugh if she does see this, she's going to laugh. She'll be like, oh, my goodness. Because I always tell her, like, you always got something going on with your phone. But I've noticed that it's always during the Mercury retrograde. So like and share the video, and then we're going to jump right into the topic. And the topic is, yeah, it's Mercury retrograde, but it's nothing to be afraid of. It's nothing to be afraid of. And yeah, it's Mercury retrograde. You should be in tune. You should at least know what it is that we're talking about, so that you can best utilize this energy. And that's the biggest thing. We should always be grateful for everything. Gratitude is really the key to life, you know, and not just, I'm not saying gratitude like just for feel good and just to be noble, you know, gratitude. The real definition of love is unconditional gratitude. And gratitude just embodies the reality that that all things are in divine order and everything is always working out for us, right? That's what true gratitude is. And so with that means, with us knowing that, you know, everything is a divine order, you know, everything is always working out for us, it's natural for you to know that Mercury retrogrades, Venus retrogrades, eclipses, we can weigh on, you know, we can listen to the doomsday type of conversation about those, but when you know that everything is a divine order, you know that, yeah, there may be some difficult or challenging things about it, but it's in divine order. And so you should seek the divinity in it and seek gratitude about everything. That's just a rule of thumb for life. In order for you to really experience life like you have been meant to experience it on this physical plane, you must seek God, good, gratitude in everything. In everything, seek it. In everything. So we're going to seek it in Mercury retrograde. So here we go. Y'all got y'all pen and pads. Y'all liking and sharing. Make sure y'all like and sharing so people can know how we can have a beautiful Mercury retrograde, right? So first of all, Mercury retrograde is an illusion, really. You know, it's when, if you look up into space, you know, with the technology, it will seem like Mercury is going backwards, you know, retrograding. But in actuality, it's just catching up in the rotation. So it's not necessarily going backwards. It's catching up in rotation, but still the energy is impacting us. The energy of the proximity of where Mercury is during this time is impacting us. And in short, the planets, the sun, the moon, all of that impacts Earth. Anything that's happening in the cosmos impacts the Earth. The moon, you can tell with your naked eye how the moon impacts the Earth. If you just go to the ocean during full moon, you'll see how high the tides are. You know how much that energy is impacting the levels or the tides. You know, they're very high. And we are predominantly made of water. So of course, during that full moon, we're also impacted. There's a certain level of energy that's impacting us and our chakra centers. This is why new moon and full moon meditations are very powerful, because it's a time where our energy is being stimulated. And when in alignment, it's a very powerful time for manifestation, for emoting, but you want to be emoting those things that you desire. So that's number one, Mercury retrograde. Mercury is not actually going backwards, but still we're being impacted by where Mercury is in that rotation and the proximity of that planet. Secondly, Mercury rules communication, transportation. Those are the main things that you hear about when you think about Mercury, and intellect, you know. So what you hear a lot of times is during Mercury retrograde, it's not great to travel. During Mercury retrograde, it's not, you can expect communication to be a little off. So email communication may be a little off. You may lose emails, emails may not go through, or you may get some kind of miscommunication back and forth. Your phone may act up, your computer may act up, your car may act up, because our cars are pretty much ran by computer these days. The cars may act up, the lights in your neighborhood may act up. Technology in your house, you know, communication between you and your family members, you and your friends, you and your co-workers, you and your colleagues. Those are the areas that you usually hear the problems happening. Also with travel, you may experience hiccups during travel. So I definitely say, just on the surface level, before we even get really deep into this Mercury retrograde, on the surface level, if you do nothing else, if you tune off right now and don't listen to nothing I'm saying to you, at the very least, travel with the idea of prevention in mind. To prevent from rushing, get up a little earlier during the Mercury retrograde. Even if you don't get up early no other time, get up early during the Mercury retrograde. Leave out a bit early, especially if you're flying. You definitely want to get there an additional hour or two earlier, just in case something happens. Also, have a little extra cash in your pocket. Don't worry about whatever the situation is that may come up. Handle it in the best way, and just know that it'll work itself out. You'll get money back if it's something that, you know. Just the other day, I got a parking ticket. Know for sure that I paid the parking, but I didn't, you know, for a second I was like, what? Oh my gosh, you know, but then I was like, oh, Mercury retrograde. So, you know, it took me a little time to dispute the ticket. You got to wait and all that kind of stuff. But that's just the nature of the beast when it comes to Mercury retrograde. It may be a hold up on the travel. It may be more traffic than usual. You may see more accidents than usual on your side of town. You may wonder, like, man, why is the traffic? It's usually not this, you know, it's not this bad in my area with Mercury retrograde. All right, so that's on the surface level. But on a more spiritual level, Mercury retrograde is the period. It's time for you to rethink, redo, reconcile. It's the do-over period. So think about anything that you need to revisit, especially if you're in business. This is a great time for you to revisit your business plan, revisit those potential partnerships that maybe you were exploring in the past and never really moved forward, revisit different relationships. This is the time to revisit. This is also a time where you're going to start seeing people from your past popping up, you know, especially those who you need to reconcile with, or maybe you've been wanting to reconcile with. The energy is prone for that right now. And it's actually a great time to explore reconciliation, or to explore moving forward with some things that maybe you have been planning in the past that you haven't gotten to, or wasn't necessarily working out before. This is a prime time for it to work out. So this is a time for you to revisit that. For those of you all who do my new moon and full moon live streams, this is the time to go back in that new moon journal that you keep, that I tell you to keep. Go back and revisit your new moon journal, and, you know, just revisit it. It may give you some ideas on what you want to go back. I mean, you want to revisit, you know, and put some energy towards some other things. So this is that redo, revisit, rejuvenate, refresh period. Also, because it's Mercury retrograde in Aquarius, it's a great time for you to upgrade and level up when it comes to your technology. Not just your physical technology, like and let me be clear, do not purchase new technology. Just explore, revisit, upgrades to your technology, right? So that's on in this physical world, like, you know. And when I say that, I mean, is your computer most optimal for your business? Is your refrigerator what you like? You know, have you been wanting to change your refrigerator? Have you been wanting to change your security system? Have you been wanting to learn more about social media marketing? Have you been wanting to learn more about how technology can impact your personal life? Whatever it may be, this is the time for you to think about that on this physical world. In the spiritual world realm, for our spiritual body, this is the time for us to upgrade our spiritual technology. And our spiritual technology is, guess what? Our chakras, our gut, our intuition. That is our spiritual technology. That is our software. That is our wiring. We want to upgrade that. So do your chakra work during this Mercury retrograde. Do your first eye meditations, your first eye opening, so that your intuition is more keen, so that you're able to trust yourself and know what your intuition is telling you. Because sometimes we get a little confused. You know, and we don't know what was our first mind. Well, what did my first mind tell me? Because that second mind click in so fast that we don't know what's divine, you know, and we're always wondering, well, I don't know. We get a little double-minded. So this is the time to do the work around that, you know, to clear up that double mind, to make us more in tune with our intuition, also more in tune with our gut. So how to upgrade your gut so you can get those gut feelings. Work with the sacral chakra, work with the first eye chakra. You know, that's what most people call third eye, but I call it first eye because that's what I feel like we should be leading with. Work with those chakras so that you could be more in tune. Also, it's a good time to do digestive system cleansing, detoxing, fasting, so you can clean out that gut. You know, you want to make sure your gut, is healthy, because literally gut feelings are very real in the spiritual world. But when we have digestive issues, that's indicative of you having issues in that area of gut feelings and your feelings in general, you know, your emotions in general. So that's that sacral chakra, right? Another thing during this Mercury retrograde you want to do, because we're in Aquarius and Pisces, you want to do your baths during this Mercury retrograde. Really get in tune with creating your spiritual baths. And you can do the submerged bath, like in the bathtub, or you can create the bath like in a pot, you know, put it together with your oils and your herbs, and then just pour a little bit in a bowl and just do the bath like I like to do, which is like a spot bath. You just kind of imagine there's a bowl right here. You're cupping your hands in the bowl, putting enough water on there just to get enough on your hands, and then you're anointing your chakras with it. All right, you're anointing your chakras with it. Go all the way down, speak your affirmations, anoint your first eye, you know, say, may I be able to clearly see and clearly be able to move. Anoint your mouth. May my words be aligned with my heart's desires. You know, may my words be inspiring and healing. Anoint your ears. May I be able to hear the way. May I be able to, you know, hear which way to go. Anoint your heart. May I move with an open heart so that, you know, I'm not getting in the way of my blessings. So do your spiritual baths. And just real quick, how you can throw together a spiritual bath. Again, you can do the one where you submerge yourself in the bath, or you could just put together one in a pot and store it in a mason jar, or store it in whatever container you need. But you get spring water, and you also get some kind of herbs, whatever herbs that you want to put in that bath, whatever your spirit leads. You can look up spiritual meaning of herbs. Just put that in your browser. It'll tell you which herbs to use for love, for protection, for healing, for prosperity. Get your oils, same way. You can what oils to use for prosperity, what oils to use for protection. You know, learn those different things, guys. Get your gemstone, put it all together. You know, let the spring water come to boil. With the gemstone, be careful because some are not good for soaking or water, but many of them are. You can use it in your baths. Bring the water to a boil, then turn the water off. Put your oils and your herbs and all your juju in there. And let it sit overnight. And once you sit overnight, you can either pour it into a container, strain it, or you can leave the herbs and all the good stuff in there. Some people like to strain it because they don't like all the herbs on their face and stuff. I like it. I feel like I'm covering myself with mama earth when I got all the herbs and all that on me. I just have to be careful when I bring a little bit with me in the car. And I do it before I get out and go somewhere. And it's like, why you got sage on the side of your face right there? What is that? You know, for the submerged bath, you can run your water, clean yourself first, you know, wash yourself first. And then I prefer to do the other bath because I don't like to, you know, when I do spiritual baths, I like to use spring water, but it's okay. You know, what you can do is you can fill your tub up. Just make sure you sprinkle some sage essential oil in it so that you can cleanse any energy that you don't want in that from the faucet water. Put some sage oil in there, and then just put the things in that you desire, the herbs, the oils, the gemstones in the bath, and soak in that bath while you're doing your meditation, prayers, affirmations. Now, you want to wash before you do that bath, the spiritual bath. You don't want, your spiritual bath is not your wash bath. You know, you want to cleanse yourself first and then do your spiritual bath, right? So that's the same way with the spiritual bath that's in the bowl. You want to cleanse yourself first and then do your bath. So I like to do my little cupping spiritual bath. I don't know what to call that, but like the miniature spiritual bath. I like to do that just at night after I take, you know, my bath for the evening, or in the morning after I wake up. You know, after I wake up and get prepared and everything, I'll do it like an anointing before I walk out the door. So this is the Mercury retrograde in Aquarius and Pisces. Listen to that. This is the time for us to get connected with water. So get into your baths. Take some trips to the water. I know it may be cool in your area, but find a natural spring to visit ever so often. I just bundle up, get out there by the water, commune with water, learn about water, research about water. The reason why I say research, learn about it, is because when we learn the science of these natural elements, it helps us with on the spiritual side. So when you learn the science of a tree, when you learn the science of a certain animal, or you learn the science of the sun, of the moon, you can really begin to really understand how it impacts you and what messages it has for you. It's no mistake why you have Oya and Oshun and Yemiya and all of that. These were created, the concepts of these orishas were created from the science of those elements. And so when we call upon Oshun, or when we call upon Yemiya or Oya, it's a reason, and it's indicative of the characteristics of that element. So during this Mercury retrograde, do a little research on water, the oceans, the rivers. Watch how much it speaks to you. It's going to be a very powerful, very, very powerful learning tool for you to do that research. And look at that, RE, Mercury retrograde, period, research, redo, revisit, rethink. So I think lastly, I'll say, during this specific Mercury retrograde, because it's Mercury retrograde in Pisces, Aquarius, and we also have a full moon in Virgo coming up later on this month, and it'll still be Mercury retrograde. You want to kind of be reflective on what areas of life are you feeling inflexible, or what areas of life do you tend to have to control, or really want to control, and you're very controlling around. You want to reflect upon that during that full moon and release that, because we think we're controlling things, but we're really not. The only thing you really want to control in life is your self-care regimen, so you can stay balanced and aligned. So you want to release those things that you're controlling. Are you controlling it when it comes to your decision makings around money? Are you controlling when it comes to your children, your relationships, your loved ones? What are you controlling about? What are you, and you're controlling when you are facing anxiety around that thing, or stress, but you're still holding on to it. You're still trying to make it happen. You're still trying to make it work. It's an illusion for you to think that you're controlling anything. The only thing you can do is really focus on the bigger picture, focus on the vision, put some prayers out, speak your affirmations, stay balanced. And the big key is to stay balanced, stay in gratitude, so you can move out the way. Because as long as you see your heart desire, like, whatever it is you're desiring out of the situation, as long as you are clear about your desire and you emote upon that and you speak upon that, it's going to happen. And oftentimes we try to control it, and then we end up dealing with stuff we don't even have to deal with, or making the process way harder or longer than it has to be. So focus on kind of dealing with that, and I know this is a long video. We got a lot of information in this video, but do feel free. It's going to stay on my page, so do feel free to, and I'll probably rip it and put it on the YouTube channel. So go to my YouTube channel as well. And so with that being said, if this is a replay for you and you're watching the replay, look down below in the description and you'll find information on how you can keep up with me for the times that I do my live videos, events, or whatever, just to keep us living intentionally, because that is the goal. All right, so that's really in short. I didn't want to go over 30 minutes with this video. That's in short how we can optimize the energy of this Mercury retrograde. Nothing to be fearful of. Mercury retrograde is a period of Sankofa. Reach back and get what you need to heal, what you need to manifest. And so, this period I see as a very healing time. I see it as a harvest time in a way, because we got the right energy to revisit things and actually be successful at doing those things this go round. I've experienced that a lot of times. The first thing I think about during Mercury retrograde, one of the first things I think about is what business moves did I want to make before that I had been planning on and have a whole plan made up that I haven't done. Let me move forward. So some of the first meetings I have during Mercury retrograde are with my team, my marketing team or my accountant or whoever, just to see how can I level up, what can I revisit and level up. So this is definitely a level up period, nothing to be afraid of. And even the things that we are kind of vulnerable to because of this period, just prepare for it. You know, don't anticipate it. I want to say that before I leave. Do not anticipate the negative. Don't anticipate traffic. Don't anticipate having a difficult time traveling. I'm not saying anticipate it. I'm saying that if it happens to you, we know it's Mercury retrograde, so chill. Look for the good, the God, the greatness, the gratitude in the situation. It's a beautiful thing. I have one story I'm gonna share with you about my travels, and then I'll let you go. Is I was traveling to Cameroon, Africa for the first time. So I'm excited. Didn't even occur to me that it's Mercury retrograde when I was traveling. This was in 2015. So I'm like going. Then before I left, gratefully, I realized, oh, it's Mercury retrograde. So I'm like, okay, all right, let me just prepare. I'm gonna get there early. I got there 2 hours early to the airport, 4 hours early. 4 hours early to the airport. Thank God, because if anybody in ATL, you know, they started that construction and it's like, what? It's only one lane open. You got to go around here to do this. So that's number one. Then when we touched down, then when I got to Paris, I think we flew through somewhere over there. The man at the gate was being so nasty. Like, he was telling me my stuff was over, and I'm like, it cannot be over because I didn't just get on the plane with this today. Like, I came from the same from an airport through the same airline who let me on the plane without saying that I need to pay an extra $50. So he was trying me a little bit. I got a little impatient, but then I said, okay, just breathe. And he literally was saying, I'm not going to let you on the plane if you don't give me a credit card. He said, give me your credit card. That's exactly what he said. Give me your card. I was like, what? I'm like, I'm not giving you anything. So I calmed down. I just stepped away, and then I turned around, and I promise you, I took a deep breath. When I turned around, this lady came up and was talking to him in their language, and she was like, come on. And I got on a plane. And then when I touched down, the luggage was taking forever. Then we got an announcement that the luggage, something happened with it. And then they said, well, everything is good. And then they called me down to customs. I was like, what? But it was cool. I ended up having a great conversation with the guy in customs. I mean, I was grateful that he spoke English. And in Cameroon, they speak English and French. So some of them speak solely French, some of them English and French and mother tongue. But he spoke his language, and I was asking him some questions. I'm like, give me some tips for while I'm here and all that kind of stuff. And so that was cool. So then on the way back, it was like I got through some travels. It was some delays, but then we was about to get on a plane. I think this was the plane that was going to end me up back in Atlanta, and they were saying something happened to the plane. We had to change planes, and that's going to take another hour. And then we had to go across the airport to get to the other plane. So it was just a lot of craziness going on. And in that case, it was exciting because I met this little bitty girl who mama was on the phone cussing somebody out. I mean, she going in. Clearly somebody had tried her to the max. And so she going in, and the little girl's like, mommy. Mama's not hearing her at all. Mommy, can I get this? Mommy, get that? Mama not hearing her at all. So I just tapped the little girl, told her come sit down. I started reading the book with her, the magazine, all this stuff. Mama kind of peeked over and saw that, I guess she felt like, oh, okay, that's cool. Then, I looked at mom, like, can I get her this? She's like, yeah. So I helped the mom. The mom's still on the phone. Like, the whole time we're doing that transition, she's still on the phone. And all I was thinking was, oh, bless her heart, Bless her heart. She's caught up in this. And this Mercury retrograde, I'm sure Mercury did not help whatever she got going on, because communication is clearly not conducive, productive at all. So, but the little girl was so cute. She was so cute. So I made me a little friend, and throughout the whole plane ride, and then look how divine it was. I sat right behind them. And so me and the little girl was, kind of talking, just exchanging throughout the plane trip. But I'm just saying, like, it may happen, but you got to be easy. I was able to see the God in it, and I was able to see it, and I thought it was amazing. And then I was able to work through it and be encouraging, especially when I was traveling on a trip. I kept telling everybody, calm down, everything gonna be all right. You know, they was like, you are just so calm. How are you always this calm? And I didn't go into the whole spiel. Well, it's Mercury retrograde, and because it's Mercury retrograde, I didn't even go through all that, because trust and believe, where I was at, it was strictly Christian, and ain't nobody hearing nothing about nothing outside of Jesus. So let's be clear. So I wasn't trying to make no enemies while I was traveling. So I didn't say nothing. I just was the light. I said, I'll just shine my light, and prayerfully my light would keep the balance in the room and the space everywhere I go. That should be our goal. So I hope this was helpful. I'm at my 30-minute mark, so I'm gonna shut my mouth. Please send out your prayers for all of us who are heading to Jamaica this week to our retreat. Stay tuned to my social media pages, as well as my newsletter. If you are not subscribed, please go to my website, go down to the bottom of any of the pages that subscribe, so you can keep up with the events that I have available here in Atlanta and nationally and internationally. And stay tuned to the YouTube, where I also post videos ever so often, just informative videos ever so often. And of course, our energy reports as well. Our energy reports and videos like this, you know, I extract it from Facebook and I post it on my YouTube channel. And while you're there, subscribe and turn on the alert so that you know when I post something. Much peace, many blessings to you. Take advantage of this love day. It's Friday. Call somebody who you love. Tell them you love them. Catch up with them. This is a beautiful day to do that. The energy will be very vibrant for that. And take it easy for the rest of the evening. If you're in Atlanta, come see me at Wadada. I'll be there 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. and tomorrow from 12 noon to 7, I think. I'll be there in the West End, Wadada Health Food Store. Grand opening. The Sister Sarak gonna be there tonight, and we're gonna have some dope vendors, vegan food, music, all that good stuff. So come see me this evening, y'all. I love when my tribe come out, show me some love. I need the love. I'll take all the love I can get. Peace.